All right, so for starters, let's take a listen to the microphones of the new Quiet Comfort earbuds from Bose. As you guys can see, we are outdoors, just taking a walk. And yeah, so we'll compare them to the Quiet Comfort Ultra. All right, so now we switched over to the Quiet Comfort Ultra. As you guys can see, same outdoor environment. So I'm curious to know what you guys think. Does one of the earbuds sound better than the other? Be sure to let me know down in the comment section below.
All right, so I actually think the new Quiet Comfort earbuds sound better than the Quiet Comfort Ultra. The thing I've noticed about most Bose products is that their microphones tend to have a very subtle, hollow, almost echoey type of sound, but with the new Quiet Comfort, I didn't really notice it. The voice sounded a lot more direct, so hopefully they continue moving in that direction with any new products. Now, aside from that, we've got a lot to talk about when it comes to the new 2024 Quiet Comfort earbuds compared to the Quiet Comfort Ultra. They definitely got a lot right with these, but other things not so much. And in this video, we're going to do our best to break down who each of these earbuds is for. So as far as the charging case, it's fairly compact. It is a little bit thicker compared to the Ultra case, but aside from that, what stands out the most is just the overall finish. The quality of plastic here is not nearly on the level of the Ultra case. The Ultra case just feels a lot more polished, and overall the quality feels noticeably better. On the flip side, one thing they did get right with the Quiet Comfort case is wireless charging. Just like the original Quiet Comfort from a few years ago, the case is wireless charging compatible, and till this day, I still don't understand why the Ultra case doesn't have wireless charging. I know there's a pretty big divide as far as those that actually use or want wireless charging, but for me, it's kind of like buying a car without cruise control. The amount of time I actually spend using cruise control is minimal, but buying a car, especially a premium car without it, it just sounds kind of crazy. Now moving over to the earbuds themselves, the design is very similar to the original Quiet Comfort from a few years back. They just managed to kind of shrink things down quite a bit. If you remember, the original Quiet Comfort earbuds, those things looked like giant pillows. And I would say that these are a good 20 to 30% smaller. You've got a little rubber fin to help you with the fit, and they do come with different size ear tips and fins for you to experiment with. As far as the fit, I'm actually pretty impressed. For somebody that has smaller ears, these stay in place surprisingly well. And for the most part, I just took them straight out the box. I didn't have to swap out the ear tips or the ear fins. Now, one thing I noticed about the ear tips is that they're a little bit loose. Normally, anytime I take an earbud out of my ear, I kind of wipe it down and try to get rid of any excess earwax. And when I did that with these, I noticed that the ear tips were moving. With the Ultra, I can do the same thing and the ear tips don't move. I also noticed that the ear tips come off a lot easier compared to the Ultra. With the Ultra, you really got to put in some effort if you want to remove the ear tips. As far as the ear tips being loose, I'm not sure if that'll result in any actual issues down the line. It's just something that I've noticed. Now, as far as connection, we've got multi-point straight out the box. We don't have to wait for any firmware updates, which is nice. And so far, the performance has been solid. There's very minimal lag when switching from one device to another. Now, the overall feature set of the Quiet Comfort is quite a bit different compared to the Ultra, and a big part of that has to do with the app. There's a completely separate app for these earbuds, which does seem a little odd. I think it would have made more sense to include these in the regular Bose app, because depending on which Bose products you own, especially if you've been buying Bose products for years, it's possible you'll have to switch between 2 to 3 different apps. So of course you got your ambient sound control. And one thing to keep in mind here is that you're not able to make any adjustments as far as the noise canceling strength, which is an option you do get on the Ultra. There's also customizable EQ. You've got a couple different presets as well as a 5-band customizable EQ compared to the 3-band EQ that you get on the Ultra. And you're able to customize your touch controls. There's quite a few options to choose from, including the option to use the earbuds as a shutter control to take pictures with your phone. There's also some call functions that you can customize as well, including a fast mute option, which you can use to quickly mute your microphones anytime you're on a call. So you might have an important business call and you need to yell at your kids really quick to tell them to keep it down. That's a feature that you could use. Now, one distinction with the Ultra is that you also have swipe controls to adjust your volume, which is something that you don't get on the Quiet Comfort. There's also built-in voice controls that pretty much let you control everything with just your voice, and we'll talk more about these a little later in the video. And then there's a low latency gaming mode, and you're able to activate it for a single gaming session, or you can choose to turn it on indefinitely. And then there's a pretty cool feature which I don't think I've seen before, which helps you predict how much battery life you have remaining. There's definitely a lot more features here compared to what's available with the Quietcomfort Ultra. Now, moving over to sound quality, I think you're getting that typical Bose sound. Really impressive bass. If you enjoy a satisfying punch and the lower frequencies, you can definitely achieve that. As far as clarity, you're getting a really good performance there as well. And when it comes to volume, I actually think the Quietcomfort might be slightly louder than the Ultra. Aside from that, I think the main difference just comes down to soundstage. The Quietcomfort sound more upfront and center, whereas with the Quietcomfort Ultra, there's a bit more space between you and the music. I think the more advanced listener would appreciate the depth and separation that you get with the Ultra. Overall, for me, it's just a more refined type of sound. With the Ultra, you also have immersive audio, which is basically spatial audio if you're into that sort of thing. Now, as far as noise cancellation, you're getting excellent performance from the Quietcomfort, which I don't think is much of a surprise, but I do feel like the Ultra are just a tiny bit better. It just feels like they have a very slight additional layer of noise canceling. It's a very subtle difference, but ultimately, if you're looking for the best that Bose has to offer in that regard, to me, the Ultra are the way to go. And I'm pretty sure that's the intention from Bose. As far as the transparency mode, I actually think it's a little bit stronger on the Quietcomfort. As far as hearing your surroundings or having a conversation, either one is perfectly fine, but it does seem like the Quietcomfort passed through a little bit more of your ambient sounds. So before we wrap things up, there is one thing I want to touch on, which is just the overall connection. I've only had the Quietcomfort earbuds for a few days, and already there's been a few times where I'll take the earbuds out of the case and only one of them would pair up with my phone. And this is an issue that I've had with other Bose earbuds in the past, and I do feel like there's a tendency for Bose earbuds to be a little buggy in terms of connection. Not to take anything away from their amazing noise cancellation or excellent sound quality, it's just something that I've noticed on multiple occasions. Also, as far as the voice controls on the Quietcomfort earbuds, I enjoy using them when they work. Hey headphones. Next song. Hey headphones. Volume up. Hey headphones. Next song. As far as my iPhone, I've been able to use them with no issue, but with my S24 Ultra, there's been a few times where the app says the voice controls are active, but then I'll say a command and nothing will happen. There's also been a few times where it works just fine, so the jury is still out as far as Android goes. I still got to do some testing just to make sure it's not anything that I'm doing wrong. Now, one thing I really like about the voice controls is that you can use them to control your noise cancellation. With the Samsung Galaxy Buds 3 lineup, they also have voice controls, which I use religiously. And one thing I've always had in the back of my head is I wish that they worked with the noise cancellation. So kudos to Bose for making that happen with the Quietcomfort. Overall, I think the new Quietcomfort are extremely solid. You're getting that top tier noise cancellation that Bose is known for. You're getting excellent sound quality along with a bunch of new features. I think as a whole, these are probably geared towards a slightly younger demographic, somebody that might not want to spend $250 to $300 on earbuds, but still would like to see what Bose has to offer. So that's my take on the new Quietcomfort earbuds compared to the Quietcomfort Ultra. I hope you guys found it somewhat useful. If so, do me a favor, give the video a thumbs up, as well as consider subscribing to the channel. And aside from that, I appreciate you guys as always, and I'll see you in the next one.